What is it that it's in your heart desire that you're looking to fulfill? And if you're having trouble doing that, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. So welcome to the Turning Point Enlightenment Show. This is where we come together and dump any toxin thoughts that we have accumulated during the week. You know, people are people. So people are going to make you mad. People are going to get on your nerves. People are going to step on your toes. And you also do the same to other people. So here we come, and then we assess our mind, and then we look within ourselves to see whether there's any toxin thoughts, any toxin move or ideas that is not going to help us. It's going to do us a disservice if we continue to harbor that inside, that resentment that is within, that we, sometimes we forget about. The Turning Point show, or the Turning Point session, is where we come here as as a group member, and we dump all the waste, take all the waste out, so that we can create room to get the insight, the download, the tools that we need to move our lives forward in the next week, the next coming week. This is our mission. And so I come here every day as your leader, as your coach, as your friend, however you turn me to be, it's fine, to bring to bring you into memory or to remembrance of the things that perhaps you've forgotten, that it could hinder you, and we dump it all here. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How was your week? Or let's talk about the month in review. How was your February? How was that month? Looking at the rear view mirror, looking behind you, how was your month in February? Let's do a quick assessment. How did you live your month? How did you live your month? Did you just get up and go, get up and go, get up and go? Did you just, like getting up and just going to work without even looking at you, the presence of you, bringing you into awareness of who you really are, the impact you're making, around your world, or at your workplace, or even at church, or anything else? Did you think for a moment, and I know you did because you're a member here, so I know you did, but for a moment think and say that, what impact am I making? What difference am I making? You are the light of the world, So brighten that corner where you are. Brighten that corner where you are. Do not put your light under a table and dim it. You were created for a reason, in your family for a reason. You need to appreciate everywhere that you've been put in life. And sometimes the meaning we give these experiences that comes around us is what we call problems. But if we are looking at everything in the lens of gratitude, in the lens of, a good experience, in the lens of, I'm here for a reason, let me find that reason, in the lens of, I encountered this for a reason and let me find the reason behind it to make a difference, we will be so fulfilled in life, because you are a voice that somebody is waiting to hear to move their lives forward. So I'm asking you, how was your month of February? Today is the 4th of March. How was February like to you? Perhaps it did go well, perhaps it didn't go well, and all of it. How did you manage it? Did you throw a tantrum fit because something didn't work for you? Did your old habit that you're trying to dump come out, and then you're like, oh my God, I said I wasn't going to say anything and I did? Did you, or you did discipline yourself in a way that you looked at things in that lens of gratitude, and so you were very calm about the situation? Oh my goodness, if I tell you what happened to me on Interstate Highway 90, from Syracuse, from Albany, New York to Syracuse, if I tell you what happened to me on a highway in a car, in a rental car, you will be like, and she's sitting here, and she even came here not shaking and talking. It's because I practice what I teach, you know. I'm looking at life in a different kind of lens now than before. I was on a highway cruising after a meeting, just coming to my next meeting in Syracuse, and the weather was so raining, snowing here, doing this there. So I was driving, going with my normal speed limit, and I was in the middle of the of the road. I mean, the middle of the lane, because we have 3 lanes. So here, and then I was in the middle, and I was driving at 65. 65 speed, at 65, whatever they're calling it. Guess what? Pow! I heard a loud noise. My tire blasted in the middle of an interstate. That is, if you live in New York, you know that interstate is like it's so, like the speed on there, it's ridiculous. And did I panic from the beginning? I did, because I've never had a tire blasted like that, on a highway before. And then I said, God, what do I do? And I steered it gradually. Thank God. It's like things happen sometimes in a situation where you're like, okay, the cars that was, like maybe you could have sped around me, the cars were all far away. So I was able to manage that car to the side of the road. And you should have seen the trucks coming. Whee, 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 whee. In the midst of it all, I remembered what I've been teaching, that operate from that powerful state instead of the primal state. Operate from, thank God, oh my God, a car didn't hit me. The car didn't, car wasn't near me. Thank God, I didn't hurt myself. It's an accident, but I'm alive. Thank God. So I started operating from that. I didn't operate from, oh Lord, why me? Why am I so tired? For the past 2 weeks, I haven't been home. And I didn't operate from that, because that would have put me down. My spirit would have been down with the help that were coming. I could have just been so upset and start talking to people anyhow. But I started operating from that powerful state. Gratitude. You're alive. The car didn't somersault. It tilted, but it came right back on. So thank God. And I did. And I moved. And then, you know what? I called the Hertz company. I called the company and I told them what was happening and the emergency line. They were also blabbing, talking, blah, blah. I said, okay, let me call 911, because this is a 911 situation. And I said, God, I don't even know the number to the nearest police station, so let me call 911. By the time I finished talking to, my family, like Daddy, Na, Pani, and, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was going to call 911. A police car drove right behind me, because I was operating from the power state, the powerful state. I was being it's like I was grateful that I'm alive, so I wasn't upset or anything else. The policeman drove, the interstate police came and started talking to me. Are you okay? And I said, oh yeah. And then it's like, oh my God, I was on the other side and saw that blasted out there, and I could, I was rushing. So I had called they've called all the stuff, bells and whistles of everything else, but he saw that I was okay. So he stopped it. And then I got help to my hotel. I'm just telling you all this to say that I could have easily started blaming the devil. I could have easily started rebuking and binding and all of that for my friends Christians, but I said, let me just for once take a deep breath and be grateful that this thing didn't somersault, this thing didn't kill me, this thing didn't do it. So in looking at it, I'm asking you, for the month of February, what thing happened in your life? What good thing happened in your life that you haven't even been grateful? You haven't taken the time to thank God for?